So it's been a few days since we started our seeds, and I thought I would check and see how they're doing. They're still don't even need any water. And I put a small space heater under here just to help. It's kind of cool over by this window, so I put a little space heater so they can get a little bit of heat, since I don't have like a heat mat or anything like that. So on some of them, not seeing any activity in, well, actually I think there's only one that is showing signs of life, and that's this one. So it looks like my cucumbers are starting to come up, and my eggplant. So those two are already germinating. I was kind of surprised that they did that so quickly. Oops, sorry. Trying to get the lid back on there. And then I have got to go out and get more compost because the potato seeds that I did for my bucket potatoes are looking amazing. So these guys look great. So I'm gonna go ahead. I think actually this one's looking a little, one of them looks like it's losing a little bit of color. So I think it just needs to be out of that shadow of the table, so that way it has a little more light. But I'm gonna get more dirt for these today, and I'm gonna show you our sweet potatoes that we're starting our slips off of and update you on those. Here we have our sweet potatoes. This one is, they call it a Japanese potato, but it's white on the inside. There's actually some roots, and there's one little slip starting there. These are almost like a purple yam. I got these from Doug and Stacy, and they're starting to get some roots. I need to change the water today. So you can see they're getting roots. They don't have their slips yet, but they are getting some roots. This one hasn't gotten in it. Well, it hasn't. I don't see any roots starting off of it, but it actually does have some little spots. Look like they might be getting some slips. Also, my elderberries, I went ahead and planted them in some dirt. It should hopefully warm up in the next week that I can actually get these outside. But those are looking great. We might be in trouble in regards to the garlic, because it looks like somebody's been in here. So I started and planted garlic in the fall, and I don't know if there's any in here or not. I mulched it really good, so I was really hoping it might just not be warm enough yet. Because I'm not seeing anything. And as cold as it's been, unseasonably cold here, I'm almost willing to bet that the strawberries haven't started up either. Here's the container garden for the strawberry starts. And I just don't think it's been warm enough yet, because I don't see anything in there. Nope. Oh, I'm certainly hoping they made it. And there's some over there up against the house too. My little herb pot, my pot for my herbs. And it looks like my thyme, this will be the third year for this plant. And you can see it's coming back. My sage is dead. I'll take that out of there. But it looks like my oregano may be also coming back right here. So we'll see if that's what that is or not. And as soon as it warms up enough, I'll add some cilantro, some chives, and some new rosemary. I'm not a big fan of dried rosemary. I don't know why. I feel like the flavor is better when it's fresh. Same thing with the thyme. I absolutely love this lemony thyme. It's one of my favorite herbs. Use it all the time. This is my peach tree. It's now 2 years old. So we got lots and lots of blossoms here. And hopefully we might get a few fruits off of it this year. I picked the buds off last year and let it grow and trimmed it some this winter. And this is planted because my little poodle was that got really old and sick. He passed away and he's buried right here. And this is his peach tree. His name was Percy, after the Thomas the Tank Engine train. So this is his peach tree. It's a dwarf peach tree. This one, we got this one marked down, and we know it's an apple tree, but we don't know what kind of apple. But it looks like we're starting to get a few little buds. This branch here I need to take off. There's a few little ones that I probably need to prune out real quick before it gets too warm. And I think a few of these branches probably need weighted a little bit to spread it a little bit. You're supposed to have it kind of open in the middle and the branches kind of out really wide to give it more support for the fruit. If they grow too upright, it can break them off too easily. Let's see here. Now these ones over here I actually planted, let's see here, last spring. They were bare root, and it looks like, yeah, they're starting to try to wake up a little bit. These two are Honeycrisp, and that little one right down there is a Pink Lady apple. So I try to pick ones that we tend to like from the store. So there's some little buds on this one too. So hopefully it grows really well this year. In a couple years we'll have some apples. Okay guys, so what I wanted to show you was a really cool tool, and it's actually warm enough outside that I can actually use it today. And it's not soaking wet anymore because I was getting really tired of that rain. But this tool is called a Cobra head gardening tool. So it has that cobra-like head. You can see that there. It has a full-size handle. And we're going to use it in one of my flower beds out front and try to loosen up all these weeds. I've got a lot of wild onion in there, which when I pull those, I'll separate those out because I can actually use those. Those are edible. But around all of my little plants over here, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how easy this thing is to use because I love it. They do make a shorter one too, so if you needed to sit on a stool or wanted to kneel down and use a handheld one, they do have one that's got with about, I think it's 1.5 foot long handle. My mother has that one. But these things are awesome. So here is my messy little flower bed by the sidewalk. And I've got some irises, some hostas, some daffodils, and then I also have a lilac. I don't know how the lilac's doing right now. My goats got loose. The kids didn't latch the gate last week, and I'm thinking that the goats ate the tips off my lilac. But here we go. See, this is just one-handed, and look how easy it's just pulling these weeds up. All right, let me give you guys a level view of how well this thing works. And it just scrapes them right out of there. Loosens the soil up really good too. So and because it's got such a narrow head, it can get in around my other plants and I don't tear them up. So let me show you what we got here. So that same spot I just showed you a minute ago, I just did all of that on video. That's how quick and easy this thing works. Love it, love it, love it. The Cobra Head Garden Tool is definitely a winner.